Well, hello, Scrat the Rat.
Scrat the Rat at your service, ready to solve your mysteries.
I see that. You even brought your.
Handy dandy mystery solving apparatus.
Yes, I see that. Oh, you can leave it there. I don't think you're going to need it because our things to solve your mystery are quite big.
Oh, yes, I see. So let's get started. The first question is where?
Where? Well, our mystery? It was in Cana of Galilee, which was a little village during Jesus' day.
I see. And, where in Cana?
Well, it was at someone's house.
Whose house?
Oh, I don't know whose house. I guess it was at the house of the groom, I think it was. And it was at a special occasion.
Oh, a wedding.
That's right. It was a wedding feast that was held in Cana of Galilee.
Uh-huh. And who was there?
Who was there? Well, I suppose the bride and groom and all their guests.
Yeah, but did you know any names?
Names, oh yes. Well, some of the guests, we know Jesus was there and his disciples, and Jesus' mother, Mary.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, tell me more.
Tell you more. Well, okay. Well, let's tell you that a wedding feast in those days, in the Jewish culture, it would last 2 or 3 days. And they would feed all those people, and they'd give them wine to drink. And, well, the problem began when they ran out of wine.
They what?
They ran out of wine.
Oh, that is a problem. They have to go to the market.
Well, no, they didn't go to the market.
No? So who noticed they ran out of wine?
Well, we know that Mary, obviously, she found out that they were running low on wine, and she didn't want them to run out because it would be very embarrassing for the family, and they'd be looked down upon, thinking that they had invited all these guests and they weren't prepared. It was not a good situation.
Oh, I guess not. So what did she do?
Well, she thought, I know someone who can solve this. My son. He's the very Son of God. He has power. He can do something about this. So she went to Jesus and she said to him, we are running out of wine.
So what was he gonna do?
Well, he says, woman, what do I have to do with you? My time has not yet come.
Oh dear, what does that mean?
Well, it means that he wanted her to understand that even though she was his earthly mother, he had another purpose that was more important than that. He wasn't just her son, he was the very Son of God. And so, for him to show his power was not up to him. That was up to his Father God. To show the time when he was to reveal who he was, the Son of God. So, she said to the servants, or the waiters, if you want to call them, at this wedding feast, she said, whatever he tells you to do, do it. And so Jesus says, fill the pots with water.
What, water pitchers? That won't hold very much.
Well, no, not water pitchers. These were pots. And they were usually kept on the outside of the house. They would hold 20 to 30 gallons, which was a lot of water. And they were used to wash the people as they came in.
What, give them a bath?
No. Like they would walk on the dusty streets and their feet would get dirty and their sandals. So they would take their sandals off and they'd wash their feet before they entered the house.
Oh, I see. Nice and clean, spick and span.
Yes. So these water pots, because they had so many guests and they had used them in washing, there was not much water left in them. So he told them to fill them up. So they did. It says they filled them to the brim, each one of them.
Well, that would have taken a while.
Yes, I'm sure it did take a while. And then after they're done, he says, pour some out and take it to the governor of the feast.
The governor?
Well, that would be the person that's in charge of the feast.
Oh, dear. You're going to take water to the governor?
Well, they poured some out. They didn't ask any questions. And they took it to the governor. And when he tasted it, he said, this is the best wine.
Wine? I thought it was water.
Well, Jesus had performed a miracle.
A miracle?
Yes, a miracle. That means something only God can do. It's not humanly possible.
But but he didn't do anything to it. He just told them to pour it out.
That's right. But Jesus has all power. He doesn't need to touch it or say something. He just did it. It just changed from water to wine. It was a complete transformation, a complete change into something else.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Well, it is. And after the governor had tasted, he called the bridegroom over and he says, I don't understand. At most weddings, they serve the best wine at the beginning, but you have saved the best to the end.
Oh, so Jesus not only made wine, he made the best wine.
Yes, not only that, when he did the miracle, he made enough for everyone to have some. Those 6 great big pots were full of wine. And even if it wasn't used up at the wedding, they could even sell some later to be used for the bride and groom to meet their needs. So when God answers prayer, and when God not just answers prayer, when he does a miracle, he does it above and beyond what we can ask or think.
Oh, yes, he's a great God.
He is. That's right. The Bible tells us that this was the first sign that Jesus did.
Sign?
Well, that's another word for a miracle, but a sign kind of shows us, like a stop sign, kind of shows us a little bit about what happens at that intersection. You're supposed to stop. You're supposed to stop your vehicle so you don't get hit by another vehicle coming through the other direction. And this was a sign. This miracle showed us something about who Jesus was.
Oh, I see. Well, it shows us that he is powerful.
That's right. But there's something even more.
Oh, what is that? It's another mystery.
Well, think about it. The water was changed to wine. A complete transformation, a complete change. Do you know that not only can Jesus do miracles, but he can change us from being dirty with sin and make us a brand new person on the inside.
Oh, yes, I think I've heard that.
The Bible tells us that he can make us into a new creature. Old things are passed away and all things are become new. In other words, the sin, whether it's lying or stealing or saying bad words or fighting, all those things can be forgiven because of Jesus and his blood that was shed for us on the cross. The wine even reminds us of that. It's a symbol of his blood that was shed for us. He took our place, our punishment, so we wouldn't have to die. And because of that, we can be made brand new on the inside. We can be washed as white as snow, the Bible tells us.
Oh, yes, that's very white.
It is. So, today we found out that Jesus has power and he can change lives.
Yes, he can. Now, where's the food from this wedding feast? I'm hungry.
Okay, we'll find some. Say goodbye, Scrat.
Goodbye from Detective Scrat the Rat at your service.
Bye, boys and girls.